Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Inside the Wrapper with me, Stogie Chaz. Tonight I've got a really special guest. As I said earlier, if you've seen my post, Antonio Lamb, Riendo Cigars, was not able to make it tonight, last minute cancellation, but I do have a member of the Wrecking Crew with me tonight. Um, and I'm going to introduce him to you in just a second. But I hope you'll enjoy us, have some fun, and get to learn a little bit more about some of us in the crew. So, without any further ado, I'm going to bring Jeff on board. Jeff, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. How you been, brother?
I've been great. So, everyone, this is Jeff Todd, also known as the Dirty Birdie. He live living in Maryland, and he's been a part of the Wrecking Crew from day one. And
Yes,
Jeff,
sir.
why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey into cigars?
Let's see. I kind of started dabbling a little bit into cigars when I was stationing with the Army in Korea. Um, One of my Masonic brothers kind of introduced me to it, but I didn't really get too much into it until after I retired and my wife got stationed in North Carolina. So I was there and I was retired, and I kind of started getting into it in 2007 is when I really started. I did kind of the normal thing that a lot of young, new smokers do. I started doing some of the acids and the Drew Estates, and then dabbled a little bit with some of the, you know, some Rocky Patels and some of the. I was big into diesel. I really enjoyed the diesels and stuff like that, and I've just started growing from there and just experiencing trying to try new things. And I was on a big kick with Perdomo for a long time. He's still one of my favorite brands to smoke. And it was actually when I got introduced to Cigar Dojo is really when I started learning more and more about different blends and different brands and stuff like that. And it really was right when I got introduced to the Wrecking Crew, or those members that became the Wrecking Crew,
Right,
is when I really got introduced into the Espinosa world. And it's been a fun journey, that's for sure.
right. I mean, the first time you and I got to meet was down in Nicaragua.
Yes, sir.
Um, at
2008.
the
I'm sorry, was it eight?
No, no,
18.
18,
I
I
mean,
think.
I'm sorry, 18. 18. Yeah, 2008. Yeah, 2018 at the Drew Estate. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We were at Drew Estate, and we had a great time. It was myself, um, Bob was there,
Yep.
Marlo was there, you were there. I think that was it from the
Yep.
crew at that
Yep.
point.
Yep. That
And
was it.
then we had an entire meeting at Espinosa, La Zona Palooza, which is coming
Yes,
up
sir.
in November.
Yes, sir.
So that was great. Looking forward to seeing you there again.
Absolutely.
It's the first time you've been able to attend in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Unfortunately.
yeah, it's a great event, and if you haven't been, you want to get an invite, make sure you reach out to Espinosa Cigars and show them, hey, I'm an Espinosa smoker.
Yep.
You better recognize, and they'll look into it, and if you've done enough, you'll probably get an invite.
Yep.
But
That's right.
we've been fortunate to get invites, and it's just a great experience. As was the Dojo Cigar Safari. That was a
Absolutely.
wonderful
Yeah.
experience. That
Yeah.
was that was my first, and then we made a second trip to Nicaragua.
Yes, we
What was it?
did.
2019, I guess. Yeah, just
2019. Yeah. Right
yeah,
before the
just
pandemic.
just before the pandemic, and
Yeah.
we stayed. We did another Espinosa trip to his cigar factory. We stayed at AJ's place. We visited his cigar factory, and we had a
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
Tell the
And
folks a
most,
little bit about that trip. Tell me what
dude,
you enjoyed about it.
that was such a nice trip because, I mean, that was actually my fourth time to Nicaragua. And for different reasons, that was probably one of my most enjoyable ones. and I say that because the two time I went to the Perdomo tour in 2016 and 2017,
Mhm.
very educational. Oh my goodness, you learn so much there. And then the Drew Estate, like we said, in 2018, but this one in 2019 was more of just a relaxing thing. We weren't
Yeah.
really there to go on, any specific tour or anything. We were just there to hang out because most of the Wrecking Crew guys, we were all there. There was only a couple of folks that just couldn't make it.
Right.
Um, but we just got the opportunity to hang out at AJ's place and just relax, sit by the pool or sit in his big game room or whatever you call it at the big table with those huge rocking chairs.
The
And
best rocking chairs in the world.
oh my God, yes. And there was no pressure to be anywhere at a certain time or anything like that. We just kind of 4 or 5 days of just absolutely enjoying the beautiful weather in Nicaragua and just enjoying the company. And we had, I mean, obviously Eric Espinoza was there. We had Juan Cancel was there hanging out with us.
Right.
Um, AJ was there a few times making an appearance, and I remember watching him play basketball with his workers and stuff.
Yeah.
And just, oh my goodness, dude, it was so relaxing and just a nice getaway and unwinding time. And we got
Yeah.
to smoke some great cigars.
God, did we? I can't even remember how many cigars we got to drink. And
Oh, yeah.
Dustin was actually there.
Dustin was there. That's right. I forgot. I'm
That's
sorry.
right. Dustin was there. Jerome Berry was there.
Jerome Berry was there. Yep.
Yeah. Junior came as well. So we had quite the crew that was there.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast. And if you guys don't know, AJ has a compound down there right next to his factory where he has guests. He has guest houses and his main house. And we have this big room, and it's really just for relaxing. Like Jeff said, rocking chairs. You sit there. They have music playing, the TV going, full bar. And you're always loaded up with cigars.
Yeah.
Between Eric and AJ, we had a ton of cigars.
and I think we had Juan had brought some as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got to smoke some good protocol cigars and
yes,
yeah. And I mean, we did tour AJ's factory and we toured Espinoza's factory, but like I said, it wasn't a set time where you had to be there. It's just, hey, you guys want to go over there and check it out? Yeah, let's do it.
Exactly. And then hanging out on the balcony at Lazona.
Oh, at Lazona, yeah, that was amazing.
For an Espinoza fan, that really is the pinnacle right there.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like much, but sitting on that balcony, having a cigar, having a coffee, sitting down,
and just looking out, watching the people,
just shooting the shit with everybody and Eric himself and the stories he tells and everything else. It's just tricks. A great experience. Exactly. So you talked about some of your earlier days in smoking cigars.
Yeah.
You did some Rockies. You kind of were across the board, some acids.
Yep.
And then you got really into Perdomo. It was a phenomenal cigar. If you haven't had Perdomos, it's something you really should get.
Yes.
Extremely well constructed. The ring gauge, I wish they had smaller ones, but but they're great cigars.
They are.
Again, if you haven't tried them, you definitely should. So, what are you puffing on tonight? I got. Let me see if that'll show. I got the
knuckle sandwich. Yeah.
This is the new knuckle sandwich that came out, the Chef's Edition.
Oh, the new Chef's Edition. Yeah.
This is my second one. Really enjoying it.
Nice.
What you got going on for tonight?
I am smoking if I can find the camera, there it is.
Go.
An Aganorsa Rare Leaf.
Oh, nice.
Maduro.
Very nice. Maduro.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying that? I had a great
love
time
this.
with mine. Yeah.
I love this cigar, man. And I'm not a real huge Maduro guy most of the time, but man, let me tell you, this one right here, this is a really good Maduro.
And Maduros are great cigars. That wrapper, it's sweet. You get a lot of flavor off of it.
Yeah. This one's very chocolatey to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, that's made by the people at Aganorsa Leaf, Terrence Riley. We're another great company, another great guy that we get to hang around with.
Yeah.
When we're in Miami or You know, if he shows up at the airport in Miami,
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah.
What's that place called? TGIF Fridays. We get to hang out. And
TGI
smoke there.
Fridays. That's right.
The only place in a Miami airport where you can smoke inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, as a matter of fact, in 2019, when we, while we were in there hanging out with Espinoza and at AJ's place, we went out to a restaurant, and while we were there, Southern Draw guy,
Robert Holt.
Robert Holt came around, and he kind of chewed the fat with us a little bit, and then when we left, and I was sitting in Miami waiting for my next flight, and I was in there having a cigar, and I walked in there, and he was in there, and I sat down with him for a while. He gave me a couple real nice Southern Draw sticks, and we sat in there and chewed the fat for a little bit and smoked some cigar. And another great guy.
And again, another great guy, another great company. His cigars are made at the AJ factory.
Right.
And it's tough to go wrong when something's made, you know, by AJ. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is just a phenomenal manufacturer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really is. And that blending room is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, I can't even count the number of tables they have set up.
Yeah.
You know, rolling X amount, thousands of cigars a day.
Yep.
You know, same thing with Perdomo. I remember I was with Bob. We had visited the Perdomo warehouse in Miami.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
You know, Nick was there, and he was showing us all the cameras and everything that he has.
Yeah.
Showing us the rolling and the quality control and everything else.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, you know, these guys, they put a lot of work into it.
Oh, they sure do.
You know, like Robert Holt came out with 300 hand cigars, and that's how many hands a cigar passes through by the time you get to put it, as Boofy says, in your mouth hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's pretty neat, the way he can sit in his office in Miami or in the security office in Miami and see every single step of the way, you know. Yeah. I think the only place he doesn't have a camera is in the field, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, in that factory is really neat, and he can just click on one and it'll take up the whole screen, or he can leave it small and see every single camera.
Exactly.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
You know, and going through his office alone with all the memorabilia that he has, sneakers, boxing gloves, handprints of boxers and basketball players, baseball players. I mean, every sport, 2 or 3 drum sets he's got set there.
Phenomenal drum sets.
Oh my God. Yeah. And, you know, you guys, if you get to Miami anytime, let me know. And I'll try and join you for a trip to one of the warehouses. I mean, you've got Perdomo, you've got Aganor Salif, you've got Espinoza Cigars, and there's a bunch more down here as well.
Right.
And these guys, they love to meet people.
Yeah.
And they love to meet people that love their cigars.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They love their fans. I haven't, again, I haven't met a whole bunch, but I've met a few manufacturers, and every single one of them that I've met just absolutely love to have their fans and people that enjoy their cigars come around, and they love to show them, you know, this is how we do things, and this is what, you know, just everything that they can, you know, but they love their fans, that's for sure.
Right. And, you know, I mean, at Palooza, Eric talks about it all the time, that he'd love to do it somewhere else, but, you know, we don't want that. We want to hang out at his warehouse.
Right.
We really don't care if it gets hot or if it gets smoky or anything else. You know, we're fine with all that. If it gets too smoky, we walk outside. And
right.
there's
Absolutely.
a tent with couches, chairs, everything else. People sit down, and we all shoot the shit, and we all have a great time together. And it's phenomenal just to see everybody from around the country.
Yeah.
I mean, people as far as Seattle.
Shoot, dude, they got people coming in from Canada. Eric Ahi's coming in from Canada.
That's right.
You know,
Eric Ahi, we're going to see him this year.
Yep.
He's going to be spending some time with the crew.
Yeah.
And you know what the crew normally does is every year we get together for a week. We spend a lot of the time at one of our friend's house called and we call it the Tiki. We call it a Tiki tour.
Yeah.
And
Tiki tour.
looking forward to this year's. It's a little shorter than we normally have it, but it's 3 or 4 days. We just hang out there, and it's just well, you know what? Let's talk about the crew. What is the crew?
The
How would you
crew,
describe our crew?
to me, the crew is just people. I think people misconstrue the word crew for us and think it's like a club that you can join or get asked to join or anything like that.
Right.
It's really not that for us. For us, it's just seriously, it's just a group of guys. There's 11 of us. It's just a group of guys that happen to meet a couple times, and then we all pretty much met at Palooza, but face to face, anyways. But we all pretty much started getting to know each other on the dojo, and just
Right.
from talking on the dojo and stuff, we just all kind of had this same kindred spirit, and we just all get along with each other, and bust each other's balls and just give each other a hard time. But we enjoy spending time, when we can. And, we just, we try and do things. I mean, like you said, we spend a week together. We've traveled to Nicaragua together. Last year, everybody came out to my house and they hung out at my house for 4 or 5 days. And, we just like to do things together and hang out. And every Thursday and Friday, we do our little video herfs, and we just, it's weird to have that many people get along so well.
For so many years.
Yeah, for so many years. Yep. And
And
it's
if
like
one of
we've
us
known
has a
each other our whole life.
Exactly. And if we have a problem, we address it right away with each other.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's no backbiting. There's no this. There's no bullshit.
No.
It's just a true brotherhood and love of the leaf. And
Yeah.
we are definitely kindred spirits. We really are. And we all have the same kind of mentality, which is a little crazy, but that's good.
Yeah.
You got to be a little
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah. I mean, you're right. People do misconstrue, what the crew is. We're not a Facebook group. We're not a club. It's just 11 guys. Your brother is a member.
Yes, he is.
He's our newest member.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of guys who can get along and just love cigars. And every week, we pick a different stick, a different manufacturer.
Yeah.
And we smoke their stick, and we call it our brand of the night.
Yep. Every Friday night.
And every Friday night. And we'll herf anywhere from I'd say minimum 3 hours to as long as 5, 6, 7 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've gone through 5 cigars during it.
Right.
Which is a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not smoking some small cigars. No, I'm smoking this good stuff here.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of times I mean, not all the time, but a lot of times we try and, when we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for the night, a lot of times we'll look on Cigar Dojo, and we'll try and see who's the guest speaker at that night. And if it's, we try and smoke one of theirs so that we can showing the dojo support, and we're showing that manufacturer support by smoking his cigar on that particular night.
Exactly.
It doesn't always work out that way, but we try.
Absolutely. We try to pick a stick that everyone can get their hands on.
Right.
Okay.
And
or everybody has
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody has everything, but
Right.
we do our best, and a lot of us will run out that day and pick up something that we may not have in our humidor,
Right.
Which is kind of rare.
Right.
Shit. I mean, if you put all of our humidors together, we could open up our own brick and mortar.
Well, easily.
And do very well. So
Yeah.
I mean, I know you. If you didn't buy another cigar, you could probably smoke what you have for the next 3, 4 years.
Oh, dude, I probably couldn't smoke all the rest of my cigars if I never bought another one. So I don't know. It'd be a long time if I could even get through all of them.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
That's my granddaughter. Just go inside, and I'm on here, okay? Thanks, sweetie. They're coming. Just waiting for mommy and daddy to get home.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Mark. Okay, thank you. Let me add Mark.
Oh, Mark's on.
Let me change that a little bit. Let me change my screen a little bit here. We can see him a little bit better. Mark, are you there?
I am here.
Uh,
Yes.
hey, how's it going, Mark?
Good. Real good.
Mark Davis. He has been a member of the crew for a number of years. We celebrated his birthday on that trip to Nicaragua.
Yes, we did.
And
With the
we
mariachi band.
Eric got a mariachi band for him, and it was just probably one of your best birthdays I can imagine.
Oh, it certainly was. Yeah. Yeah. Very enjoyable.
In fact, you're with your Wednesday night crew at this point, right?
I was, which is
Oh, okay. You guys are done.
yeah, a little late, but I'm here.
That's all right, brother. So this
Nothing wrong with that.
for those out here that may be watching this, the what Chaz was talking about earlier about us spending time at the Tiki Hut. That's the Tiki Hut.
That's the man.
That's where That's where we spend the time.
And who built it by hand?
Yes, he did.
Not have somebody come out and build it. He built it by hand.
Yeah.
And it's one of the greatest experiences you could ever have as a cigar smoker and as a friend.
Yes.
To come visit the Tiki Hut.
100%.
Yeah. And Mark, we always appreciate your hospitality every year for Tiki Tour. All of us look forward to it.
Well, I can tell you for certain that it's always enjoyable. It's always a pleasure. And we certainly do know how to have a good time.
Yes, we do.
Mark, yes, I want the people to get to know you a little bit as well. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you got into cigars?
Well, I'm not sure if I can remember that far back. Well, I tell you what, I started smoking cigars. I was probably in high school, and local cigar shop in the mall in Toledo, Ohio, where I grew up. We, my friend and I would go in there and pick up. It was actually, I think I started with Arturo Fuente curly heads.
Oh yeah,
and that was the go-to for a long time, and just from there it's just morphed into what it is today. and I can't tell you the last time I had a curly head.
Right.
But nothing wrong with that smoke either. It's a good cigar.
No, absolutely not. Just make an adjustment here. There we go. I didn't realize I had unplugged the battery on my laptop. So now that that's plugged in, I won't go into energy because it was starting to get a lag here. And I'm going, hey, what the hell's going on? All right. So you went into that, and now you're probably one of the biggest Espinosa cigar smokers in the planet.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say based on at least Dojo verse numbers, go Dojo. Yeah, absolutely. Geez, I think that if anyone here is a Dojo fan, Dojo verse, certainly, I think I'm level probably pretty close to 150 right now.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many cigars does that equal?
A lot.
Oh my goodness, a lot. Yeah, it's pretty close to probably 2,700.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm only at level 60 something, I think, or 70. I'm in that area, and I smoke Espinosa basically every day.
As do I, and I know Jeff is 101. I think
I just hit 101.
And Jeff, Perdomo, where are you at with Perdomo? What level are you at there?
Level 35.
Okay.
But it sounds a little deceiving because I'm 101 on Espinosa, but 35 on Perdomo. But the way the Perdomo badge thing worked out is the first you had what was it, like bronze, and then your next level was silver, I think, and then platinum or something like that. And then once you got through all three of those, then you hit that whatever the next one is, and then you started hitting your levels,
leveling up from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a little bit different than what the Alpha Dog is, where you started out at levels, and worked your
Right.
way up. But yeah, I I still smoke more Espinosas than I do Perdomos these days. But y'all remember there was a time where if I was smoking a cigar, 95% of the time it was an Espinosa. I mean, it was a Perdomo. Matter
Right.
of fact, Eric used to always bust my balls. Sometimes he still does. Calls me Mr. Perdomo.
Mr. Perdomo.
Yeah.
But he's going
Yeah.
to be real happy you changed your license plate.
Yeah. Not to Espinosa. I changed it to Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking Crew, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. Oh, you have, for those of you who follow Jeff, he does Perdomo Mondays.
Yeah. Perdomo
Which-
Monday.
Which I know Eric from the dojo has picked up on, and he's been doing that an awful lot lately as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people have picked up on that. So, Mondays become Perdomo Monday.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
as for me, I started smoking late. I was, I guess, probably in my 30s. I got introduced to Cuban cigars at that time. And I have never smoked cigarettes or anything. And I started smoking Cuban cigars, had this connection with this company or a guy in Chicago who used to get them for me out of Canada. And I smoked a lot of Romeo, Julietas, and I stayed away from Cohibas because even back then I knew about fakes and stuff like that. But the tubos I used to get were just great. And I enjoyed that. I stopped for a while, got back into cigars, probably 2015, 2014, I want to say, started smoking again. And by the grace of God, I got to meet these gentlemen. My first two people I met were because of Cigar Dojo.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Dojo, all of us wouldn't be here today together.
Absolutely.
It really brought us all together. It creates a lot of friendship. So if you guys haven't been on it, dojoverse.com, get on there, create your profile, and start earning badges, start making friends. And as Dojo always says, you never smoke alone. And
Yeah.
it's a
100%.
great community. You can comment on other people's posts. People will comment on yours. And, it's just great. And you check in your cigars, you level up in different things. You get points, you get belts.
Yeah. And if you're new, you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from people inside the dojo. And
Yeah,
nobody's afraid to help you. There's not a dumb question, especially if you're really new. Ask any question and somebody's going to help you out and give you an answer.
Exactly.
And not going to try and make you belittle you for whatever you're smoking. It may not be what they smoke, but we've all been there.
Now, for the dojo Hall of Famers, Jeff, Mark, and myself, we're Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
We have a couple other Hall of Famers in the crew. In fact, the entire crew was inducted into the Dojo Hall of Fame this past year.
Yeah, he did the crew Hall of Fame.
Yeah, us and the Castle crew as well.
Castle crew, yeah.
Yeah, another great bunch of people.
Yeah.
They do things a lot differently than we do.
Yeah.
But they also herf together just about every day, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty close.
There's a herf going every day.
Every day there's something going on.
Exactly.
Kurt,
so that's
Kurt Anderson is the
Kurt Anderson
main guy for that. And he's the one that makes these little, that's why they're the Castle crew, because he makes these cigar stands and the top of it looks like a castle. So he named it the Castle crew. And Kurt makes these.
God, it's a great stand, and it's heavy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hit somebody with that, it's like, having a brass knuckles on. You can knock somebody out with those. Mark.
Yes.
You just came back from Europe. You were in Ireland or Scotland, I believe.
I was in Scotland. Yes, in Glasgow.
Tell us a little bit about your trip over there.
So it was
cigar wise.
Yeah, cigar wise, it was very good. Found a nice lounge that I had met a gentleman over there. Actually, let me step back, and the gentleman that I met geez, some years back, I was going to Monterrey, Mexico a lot, and he was the facility manager at the plant that I was going to. So anyway, he and I had smoked a couple cigars in Mexico, and his tour was over in Mexico, so he went back to Scotland. So back in 2019, I was able to go over there and spend some time smoking with him, and certainly we were able to partake again this past time, and I think that it was really fun because I was able to introduce him to Espinosa back in 2019, and he's still smoking Espinosa today. So so that was pretty special. And then this past trip, I brought him over some more different Espinosa cigars, maybe that he hadn't had.
Nice.
So, and of course he had plenty of Cuban cigars for me as well. So
Yeah.
worked
Now,
out
Mark,
well.
that's not the first person you've turned on to Espinosa.
No.
You have another colleague out in Kansas.
Kansas, there's two guys out in Kansas that, again, I travel a lot, so I have the opportunity to get around, meet different people. And so I was out in Kansas 2 years ago, met somebody out there that had the same interest. And so every time I go there, which is fairly often, we spend a good amount of time after hours, smoking a few Espinosa cigars. And fortunately, this last time I was able to get someone else into Espinosa. So, yeah, it's always nice. And I think that, like Jeff was saying, and you were saying with the dojo verse that you meet these folks and there's no dumb questions. It's just a great camaraderie. It's very enjoyable. You share your knowledge. You gain their knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really fun. It's a good thing to do. And I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've been in other places, other lounges, or other just locations, whether it be a hotel parking lot.
Yeah.
And hey, what are you smoking? Oh, an Espinosa. Oh, here, you want to try one?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a great way to be.
Yeah, we are the kings of the parking lot hearse. And,
Yeah.
it's the stuff of legends. It was what it is. We started smoking after Palooza. After the evening was over, we would go back to our hotel, and it was a Holiday Inn in Hialeah. And we would just sit around, and there'd be, 6 or 7 of us maybe, just sitting there, herfing away, just continuing the night, having drinks and everything else. Well, that turned into, what did we have? We had to have at least 100, 150 people out there.
That one time I was out there, the one time I got to go in 20, what was it, 18 or 19? 18 was my first Palooza. And that couple nights we were out there, man, there was easily 70, 80 people, it seemed like. I mean, it was just lots of people.
And that just came out to be word of mouth. Hey, these guys are all herfing in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Let's join them. And everyone brought a bottle. We had a full length table.
Yeah.
That was just full of bottles, could rival any bar in the country.
I remember that time
of everything.
Yeah, you remember when the law enforcement guy, the policeman came out there, and they didn't come out there to hassle us. They just came out to make sure that everything was okay and everything. And they ended up just hanging out for a little while and smoking a cigar with us and having a good time. And
exactly,
yeah, and that's the thing, we were out there in the parking lot and we were drinking and smoking cigars, but nobody was getting stupid. Nobody was getting rowdy. Everybody was respectful. And we just had a great time, man. Except for when I got in the bed of the truck. Remember when I got in the bed of the truck to take a picture of the whole group and I hit my head on that damn concrete?
Yeah. Oh my
God, that shit hurt. Yeah.
Fortunately, you got your hat on.
So
that helped you a little bit.
It helped.
That button get imprinted into your forehead.
Yeah.
Top of your head. I've done that a few times too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, sweetie. My granddaughter's making sure I get dinner, so I have to thank her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else you guys want to talk about? Any topic.
What are you burning, Mark?
Actually, I just finished up with a Connecticut, the knuckle sandwich Connecticut.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Great stick.
Yeah, I was. I didn't realize I was going to be on live here. I wanted to just come on and not miss this, and so I was going to run back in the house and grab another stick. So so right now I'm actually burnless.
Yeah.
Well, we got. If you want to go out and get another one, that's quite all right. I mean, we got some time here. I only do this for about an hour. We're almost 40 minutes in.
Okay.
So if you want to grab another stick, please feel free to.
Well, if you can excuse me for a minute, I'll do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be back.
I'll just mute, and you can just leave it, and we'll look at the chair. Oh, I'm sorry, we missed that. I had you on mute. What'd you say?
Oh, I will just jump out and I'll come back on. Okay.
Okay, no problem. You got the link.
That'll be cleaner.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, and for people that don't know Mark, he's a great friend, great person. Really knows his stuff. And,
Matter of fact,
he's a hell of a cook too. He can make
my God, yes,
the most phenomenal barbecue wings. But nobody makes, what is it, Korean pancakes?
Yes,
like your wife.
Yes,
she makes them the most phenomenal Korean pancakes with a dipping sauce that's to die for.
And for those of you that's listening to this or may see it later, when you think of Korean pancake, don't think of pancakes like breakfast in the morning, American style. They just call them Korean pancakes. They're really like a deep fried. They've got some vegetables, and usually she'll put like some seafood in it or whatever. Sometimes after Thanksgiving, she'll make it with some leftover turkey, have some of that shredded up into there, and it's deep fried, and it usually has like some carrots and some other stuff, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, when we get together, we have people shipping bottles of booze in, beers. We always have tons of cigars. We all, pack our humidors, and we leave them wide open. Anybody can choose from anyone. Nobody has to ask anything. So we have plenty of cigars to smoke. We have a great time. We drink. We have fun. We listen to music. We have Troy, who does our playlist for us. He's our DJ. He brings this massive waterproof speaker, and he cranks the music, and we just have a great time.
Yeah, we go around the room, and he says, "Okay, it's your turn." You go around the room, and you select a song that you want to hear, and he pulls it up, and we just keep going around, and then eventually you can stop because because you got 4 or 5 hours worth of songs in your queue.
Exactly. And our rehearsals will start typically around noon.
Yeah.
And we'll be out there probably till 1, 2 in the morning, sometimes later than that, but that's typically about it. Some guys stay at the hotel. Me, I'm local, so I drive back and forth. And we, like I said, we just have a great time. So, the other members of the crew are all great guys, great cigar smokers, fun to be around. And again, it's a lot of ball busting and just having fun, and everybody can take a joke. I mean, if you're not able to take a joke, you can't hang with us. It's really that simple.
And like Mark came out here and spent a weekend here at my house because my wife and I built this man cave that I'm in now.
That's what I want to talk about that.
Yeah, and Mark came out, and we did all he pretty much laid out and designed the electrical and taught me how to, we ran all the wire and everything, because he's, by trade an electrician. So he helped me do all this. I'll put all the electrical in here. That was awesome.
Now people don't know, but you built that. You and your wife built that entire.
Yes, we did.
That's 100%. How big is that shed?
24 by 24. It's basically
that was a big build.
It was a 2-car garage basically, but it's separated from the house. and it's just, that's really what it is a 2-car garage. But I can try and show you a little bit of it. I don't have the camera thing like Mark has, but there's a little bit of it, and we even put floor, paneling stuff on the walls, on the ceiling. It's hard to see. I know. I apologize, but
it looks great. It looks great, and that's your work area during the day as well.
Yes. So when on my work from home days, where I'm sitting now is at my desk. That's my office. So I can sit out here, and like tomorrow and Friday, I'm working from home, so I can sit out here and do my work and smoke cigars at the same time and not worry about anything.
There you go, and your work gets done.
Yeah, and then as you can see a little bit of it, this is my I love me wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the plaques and stuff that I got from the military, different places.
Yeah.
So,
and since I moved where I was before, and I was recording my episodes with other brand manufacturers and brand owners, I was inside, and inside I cannot smoke. I'm outdoors now. Hopefully there's not too much. How's the background noise? Do you hear anything?
Nothing at all.
Louder? Beautiful.
Nope.
So the echo and the noise cancellation are working.
Yeah.
But I'm actually sitting outside. I have a nice screened-in area where it allows me to sit out here. I can do the show out here, and I can smoke, which is more fun on a cigar show when you're talking to somebody.
Exactly.
So, guys, I'm just going to flash this up here again real quick. Please make sure you go out there, like, share, and subscribe. All of my links are listed at the top of this page here. Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to change that icon to X, formerly Twitter, and obviously YouTube as well. Today was supposed to be
Stogie Chaz. Stogie Chaz.
It's really simple, guys. I've made it as simple as I possibly can. And I hope you guys tune in, subscribe to the show. I'm now that I can be outside, it's a lot more convenient for me, and it's a lot better to do an interview as well. And we'll get more and more manufacturers on today. Today was supposed to be Renato Cigars, but he had to cancel at the last minute, family situation. So we'll see him, I hope, next week. He should be on. Please make sure you tune in. I'll always be streaming. I stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So join in, make comments. Actually, you know what I haven't done, which I should. There we go. Derek Dukes.
Oh, Derek. We'll see you at Palooza, brother.
Got some comments in here.
See Big Frank, too.
And Frank made another comment, Jack and Handcuffs.
Yeah, Jack and Handcuffs, yes.
yeah. And there's Bob.
There's Bobby. Mark's coming back. There he is.
Bob, we appreciate you watching. Bob McDonald, the elder statesman of the group.
Yeah.
The Uncle June of the family. And he another great guy. I know a lot of you guys know Bob. And like I said, just a phenomenal guy. And the other guys, Derek Dukes and Frank Cannon. D3. There's that for you. And Frank Cannon. Frank the Tank.
Yeah,
he's an awesome guy as well.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. And, we get – what's this?
Get off my lawn.
That's typical Bob. I found a coffee mug. It says, "I'm Bob, and I'm doing Bob things."
There you go. That's awesome.
It's just great. And
that's the other thing about Palooza, man. It's you get to see folks that you may only see them once a year, and you get to see these guys again and hang out with them, and a lot of them it's just like it's just like you just saw them yesterday, but it's been a year.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable, especially a lot of the guys that come down from New York and guys you talk to on Facebook a lot, it's a phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
One, everyone needs to try and do so. Smoke those Espinosa cigars. Do your hashtag Espinosa every day. Post them out there, and trust me, you will get recognized. You absolutely will.
Yeah. I turned to a friend of mine at work. I turned him on to Espinosas, and he really liked them, started posting them a lot. And guess what? This year
There you
he'll
go.
be at Palooza.
All right.
And for new people that have asked me, what people ask me, what kind of cigars should I buy and this and that, and I ask them, what their level of experience is, and a lot of them are brand new to the cigars. They've seen me smoking a lot and they want to try different things. So I recommend Espinosa. I'll recommend Perdomo. I'll recommend Agador Salif. And I'll
Room
typically go with the
101.
Room 101. Yeah, I typically go with the Connies first,
Yeah.
or Connecticut's, if you're not familiar with the term. And it's a great way to get started into the lifestyle. And that's really what it is. It's a lifestyle. All of us smoke at minimum one cigar every day. I don't know of a day that's other than being in the hospital. That's pretty much the only time I haven't smoked, or if I had a really bad cold. That's really been about it. Other than that, I'm smoking every day. I'm out here. I'm relaxing, and we'll go to the lounges.
Yeah.
Or airports, Chaz.
Or airport. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't make it work yesterday, but I also have made it work before.
Yeah.
So Mark, how was your weekend? What did you do on the weekend? Did you go out to Glasgow?
Just did a whole lot of just walking and drinking and eating and smoking, and that's what my weekend consisted of.
That's a hell of a weekend, buddy.
Sound like a great weekend.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
And Mark was 5 hours ahead of us and joined us on our Friday night herp.
Yes, he did.
I don't think Mark has missed a Thursday or Friday night herp in forever. He's pretty much kept that streak alive. Even if he's on for 5 minutes, just say, hey, I got a bad connection or whatever. But he gets on there. And, I wish my track record was that great. But, it is what it is.
That's
some
right.
People have lives.
Yeah.
Well, this is our life. This is our life. And, the other great thing is our wives.
Yeah.
Wives are very understanding people. They understand, what we do and the friendships we have. And, as long as we do pay attention to them, which we do.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've been married long enough, that is the two most famous words and two most common words you'll ever say is yes, dear.
Yeah.
The moment you learn to say yes, dear, is the moment you'll have a happy marriage.
But make no mistake, I wear the pants in my family. She just tells me which ones to wear.
Exactly. And I'm the king of my castle, and she told me I could say that.
Yeah.
So, Mark, in your travels, you've also done photography.
I have, yeah. And so photography kind of morphed into birding adventures, going out sightseeing and birding. And the reason I bring that up is because it's gotten me to Cuba 3 times to be able to lead birding trips with photographers as well as birding enthusiasts. And as I said, it's gotten me to Cuba, which we all know the backstory there and why you'd want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But you've gone other places in the world as well. You've been to what? Costa Rica, Galapagos.
Yeah. Costa Rica, Panama, Galapagos. As you said, I've been to Colombia, Venezuela. So yeah, many, many different places.
Very nice.
Yeah. So it's, and as we all do, and of course you mentioned Nicaragua earlier, but as we all do, we always pack our, as many cigars as we can carry in a carry-on, and and so exactly. We're never without.
We turn a 50 count into an 80 count real quick.
Yeah,
absolutely. But there again, that's where those friendships become made, is because you can share a cigar with somebody and turn them on to something different that maybe they haven't had, and that's,
right.
And I enjoy that, on the receiving end of it, as well as being able to do that with someone else. So
Yeah.
so it's been
And
very fortunate.
there's a few of us who smoke a lot of different things. Marlo is probably, I would say, the most prolific in smoking
Yeah.
a big variety of cigars. Jeff Bridges, very big into Cuban cigars. In fact, I'm going to have Jeff and another person on. His name is OT. If you guys don't know him, you'll find out about him. And we're going to talk about Cuban cigars here on the show.
Yeah.
And that should be a very interesting discussion because there's a lot I don't know and I want to learn about. But, those guys are really deep. They were actually at the Havana Festival this year, which is
That's
the
right.
biggest festival probably in the world, I'd say. And any Cuban cigar enthusiast, aficionado, they were all there. All the big names in that industry are there.
Yeah. That would be a phenomenal trip.
So Jeff, your job is taking you around the world as well. Tell us about some of your trips and some of your cigar adventures.
Mostly, so with my job, I've mostly gone to a bunch of different places in the States, but I have had the opportunity to go to Taiwan a few times. And I definitely bring my own there. But I did get to experience one time, matter of fact, it was a guy at the hotel that works at the hotel. He was a bartender at the hotel I was staying at in Taiwan. And I was sitting outside one night smoking a cigar, and he came out asking me if I wanted a drink, and he started talking about it and started talking about the cigars and stuff. And he had a friend that owned a little cigar shop, and he tried to give me the card of the place and tell me where it was at. And I told him, I said, hey, tomorrow night I'm done early, and I said, if you're available or not working or whatever, why don't we just meet up and we'll go together.
Right.
And it just so happened that he wasn't working the next day, and sure enough, he came to the hotel and we met up after I got off work, and we met up and went over to this place and had a couple Cuban cigars and had a great time. It was a nice small little place, and we just had a great time. I mean, they're not cheap by any means, but every once in a while, it's okay to spend a couple dollars and have fun, and then on one of my other trips, another American gentleman that was over there with me, he knew, he'd been there many, many times, and he knew a place, and he took me to another nice lounge. It was quite a bit bigger, but it was, nothing but Cubans.
Right.
But we had a great time. I mean, they gave us a bottle of scotch, I think it was, that we had there, and we sat there and drank a bottle of scotch, or not the whole bottle, but we drank some scotch and had a few cigars and had a great time. But and again with the excuse me, the dojo, a lot of times if I'm going to somewhere in the United States, I'll get on the dojo and say, hey, I'm going to be in such and such a town on this, this time frame. I said, if there's any dojo guys that want to get together. Matter of fact, that's how I met the Chi-Town crew guys, Wayne
Right.
and Turtle and Vince and all those guys. They had a big Chi-Town crew get together. They planned it because they knew I was coming into town, and so I got to meet up with them after work, and we had a great time, man. There was probably 7 or 8 of us. David Wolf out of Spokane, Washington, or not Spokane, but out of Seattle area. I met, he was probably one of the first dojo guys that I met, in my travels quite a while ago. Was David Wolf. I met up with him and had a great time. But that's the beauty of being able to travel. Like Mark said, you get to meet people that you may have been talking with for a number of years, and it finally comes up, you get to meet them and stuff. The same thing with Houston. I got to meet Alexan in Houston, and
That's right. You were just out there for what?
Well, no, that was San Antonio. I was in San
Antonio.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to meet up with anybody that time.
But you went to a Burners event. A
I
barrel
did go
burner.
to a Barrel Burners event. Yes, I went there a day early to meet up and have the Barrel Burners event. But yeah, I didn't get to meet up with any dojo guys. Although some of the Barrel Burner guys are also on the dojo, like myself and Mark. We're both
Mhm.
in Barrel Burners. We're both patched members of the Barrel Burners, and but yeah, it's great to be able to go to these places and actually meet face to face with people that you may have been conversing with for a number of years.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, guys. That's we're about 58 minutes in. I want to thank you both for coming on. I
Yes,
really,
sir.
really appreciate you. Last second,
Yeah, it's great being
helping
on
me
with
out
you.
here tonight. I didn't want to cancel the show altogether. I wanted to have a show no matter what.
Yeah.
But you guys are welcome at any time, and hopefully I'll have some more Wrecking Crew members on, so you guys can learn a little bit more about some of the other people we have in the crew. It's a bunch of interesting characters, that I will tell you.
Emphasis on characters.
Yeah, exactly. Characters. Well, thank you for the opportunity, Chaz. as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely, Chaz. It's been a pleasure, brother.
I really do. Again, I appreciate you, and I'm going to leave you this way. Okay, number one, I want you all to stay blessed. All right, be careful out there, and smoke what you like, drink what you like, and remember, above all else, inside every rapper, a story waits to be told. And with that, thank you everyone for joining me and my friends here on this podcast. And we'll end it like that. Thanks,
Good
everyone.
night, everybody. Take
Have
care.
a great night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.